What's good? What's good, my people? Listen, welcome to the Friday edition of the Bliss Pickup. Shout out to everybody. Before y'all even get in, I'm gonna shout all y'all out. Listen, man, we got a fun with today. Y'all know it's Friday, so we're gonna get into all of the madness. Y'all know how it is. Y'all, if y'all want to hear the nice, cool, calm, collected thing, this not the show for y'all. It might get turned up. Y'all know how it is. We get some hot topics before we come on. We like to attack those topics. And so we are gonna get into it. We also gonna. I want one main thing I want to do. Well, not main thing, but one. I see you shake money. One thing that I do want to get into is I want to know what a Tuaner is. I really want to figure this out. We gonna figure this out. I might have to ask Lou. He been around. I found out that Lou been around way longer than me. I'm new here, so I just want to let y'all know that before Lou get up here and everything. But listen, before we get into this, let me bring up my co-host, man. Lou.
Tone, what's good, dog?
What's good, my boy, my boy?
I'm just saying, Tone. I'm tired of talking to all these people, Tone, that I don't know their name, dog. That's all I'm saying. I'm tired of talking to all these people I don't know, man.
If you ain't know your name, listen, man. Right? Hey, listen, man. I gotta start doing it early because I got a little critique. What you call it? When they critique you. But well, listen, I know to take constructive criticism. At the beginning, I gotta do beginning to the end, so I gotta start promoting. Listen, y'all, make sure y'all hit the like button. I know our chat do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all, but I'm gonna start doing my part as well. So y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Help us grow the channel. Y'all been doing a great job. We already hit the 500 mark. I think we gained another one. I think we're like at 516 now as well. So hey, I appreciate y'all for that. And make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all come enjoy the show. Now, with that all being said, Lou, what's up, man? How your day been going so far?
Man, it's busy, Tone. You know it don't stop, man. I work and then get home, and it's still more shit to do, man. But the day overall is good, man. Family's good. I'm good. So, that's all we can really ask for, man.
All right. And hey, listen, Vamos Gatos asked you. He said, Lou, you know me from Clock Blockers. Day, bro. What that is? Clock Blockers.
That was the morning show that Stephen D used to do. That was the name of his show, Clock Blocker. So yeah, I definitely know who Canes and Vamos is, man, for sure.
All right. So listen, man. First of all, y'all know today was the first day of rookie mini camp. All I just want to say, listen, Lou, I'm gonna let you say something about it, but I want to say this before we get into these hot topics. It's rookie mini camp, right? I know people are happy we got some resemblance or some semblance of football, but bro, it's rookie minicamp. Let's not make they making a spectacle of everything, and listen, it's gonna be pushed back. I'm just let's just enjoy it. Let's watch it. Let's take it with a grain of salt. Understand they're really just going in there. Y'all know what they're doing. They're going to work out, get in shape, and also learn the playbook. Practice what they probably gave them the playbook, right? Let them take it home with them, get familiar with it. And also, so when they come in rookie minicamp, they get a head start because the players that, for the most part, outside of the free agents, they have been on this team already, so they understand the playbook, right? So this is what this is all about. So that's why you see when you see them practicing, you rarely see any defenders. Obviously, the shirts and shorts. It's just like the underwear Olympics, basically, but they're just getting into the playbook early to get them a head start because they want them to be as prepared as they could be by the beginning of the season and training camp for that matter. Because when your veterans start coming in, you don't want the rookies being so far behind to where they can't. They're in a disadvantage when it comes to earning a starting position because you're learning the playbook instead of understanding the playbook and running the plays and competing with the guys that has already been here. So this is what this mostly is about. Obviously, getting to know them, introducing them to the fans, things of that nature, learning their names, their new numbers, getting acclimated with the field, how the practices ran, their positional coaches, things of that nature. So let's really relax about that. But Lou, what you feel about all the stuff that you've been seeing going crazy about these rookie mini camps and everything? And let me get something real quick. Hold on.
Um, yeah, listen, I think you were spot on, Tone. I think rookie minicamp is just what it is. It's rookie minicamp. Um, from the Dolphins side of things, I'll start there. It's just good to see the boys back in the building, right? It is good to kind of get a glimpse of football is starting. At least it's one day closer, right? What's sickening, Tone, though,
Mm-mm.
getting
Mm-mm.
off of the Dolphins is what we were just having in that Twitter space. For people to be pumping their bird chest out.
I was gonna wait, but you get right into it. Go ahead, handle it.
Yeah, bro, you got your bird chest poked out over Shadur Sanders clips. That man didn't throw a pass over 10 yards, and every pass he threw was wobbly with no velocity. And these dudes are already making a yellow jacket for the dude.
Not the gold jacket already.
They making a gold jacket for Shadur. He hasn't thrown a pass over 7.5 yards.
Sound like the touchdown drives in that Tennessee game Monday. You know what? Let me leave that alone.
Man, I mean, come on, bro. This thing is ridiculous. Look, again, I know as football fans, just as sports fans, again, like I said, it's good to see training camps kind of and guys, getting in the building and you start seeing
Did he cut out for y'all?
see
Oh, go ahead. Sound like you cut
all
out,
the
dude.
things that we love to see, right? But at the end of the day, bro, look, it's training camp at the end of the day. But yeah, Tone, let me ask you this, Tone. What is your thoughts of because I'm sure you've seen a lot of the clips today of Shadur Sanders. What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be honest with you because hey, listen. I saw there was nothing impressive about what he was doing. Now I'm not gonna over be like, oh man, he's trying. You know what? Forget it, man. We finna get right into it. All right,
Hey,
man. I'm finna call,
he's trash, Tone.
let me call y'all out. I'm not gonna say trash. Right? Oh, Benjamin, I'm glad you said that, Ben. I'm glad you said these two, aka Benjamin. You know what, Benjamin? Forget it. Lou started early, so I'm gonna start. It's people like Benjamin, people like Trey, right? That's out here making a spectacle of shorts and pads, bro. Not even pads, man. The t-shirts and shorts. Screen passes, a dump off pass with no like y'all you make it see people like me that be like relax, chill. Then it make it seem like we're hating. We're not hating. We're saying what are we supposed to be enamored about? It's like, can we see it in the field? Can we see now? I get it. If people been talking trash to you, go ahead, talk your trash back, right? But don't go tagging people in there that haven't been talking trash just because. Now I understand, Lou. Y'all want to get at Lou, right? But was Lou was right. Actually, he was right, but he was wrong. Because Lou said he probably was going to be a second or third round pick. And then he followed up, say he might fall. Well, how late did you say he was going to fall, Lou? I don't want to misquote it.
I said he was going to go undrafted.
Undrafted. There you go, right? So he was right, he was wrong. But all y'all was, including myself, was killing him by saying, I said he wasn't going to get out of the second round. You know, he went fifth round. So at what point, it can't be hating at this point. It can't. I ain't gonna say it can't be, but it like if when the dude right, be like, okay, cool. He was right. He slid the NFL. Now what he was saying, right? I'll give you this, is before any of the interviews happened and the combines happened and everything, this was during the season. The last 3 to 4 games, y'all remember him telling y'all these teams are losing because they don't too much care about these quarterbacks. He said that. These teams are telling you what they think about these quarterbacks. You know, so it's not hating. So now, okay, all that fast forward, all that happened. You get into he's in short and passes, throwing screen passes. He rolled out, throwing little quick passes to the running back out of the backfield. Okay, cool. That's nice and fine and dandy. But Benjamin, if Tua was doing that, right, what would you be saying? For all you people that hates on Tua, that says he's not good enough, but y'all pumping up Shadur Sanders, right? Because I'm going to call y'all out. Because, see, y'all want to be 100, we're going to be 100. Y'all would be like, oh, but it don't mean nothing. It don't matter. He's not gonna do it in the game. We already know what's gonna happen. We seen this before. Yeah, we have. We haven't seen nothing for Shadur. So if we want to go by what we seen of Shadur, man, he ain't sure he can win a big game either. He isn't. Yeah, you see what? I'm glad to see, and this is what you see, Ben. This is when you set yourself up, right? Day one of rookie count versus year 6. You know what them 6 years should have showed you? Be humble. Let it play out. Let it play out. Wait till it manifests itself on the field. Don't get fooled by the fool's goal.
No. You know, that's a very good point by Benjamin. Day one of 6 years. Right. In those 6 years, you know what you've seen? You know what you've seen in those 6 years? Shadur Sanders.
That's what I was saying. At Colorado, that's what I was saying. The only one we got to go by is for him in Colorado.
No. His film at Colorado looks like Tua.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about 6 years a day. I don't need to see. After day one, I've already seen what I have to see from Shadur. He's Tua.
Oof.
There's no velocity on the ball. There's no arm strength. There's no mobility. He's a one-read guy, if that's what y'all want to believe. He threw a lot of passes up to Travis Hunter with his eyes closed, and Travis Hunter came down with the ball. That doesn't make you a good quarterback. There was never no competition because his daddy has always been his head coach and gave him everything. He's literally Tua Tagovailoa. And these people got their, again, bird chest poked out. Oh, my God, Shadur. That's the argument. People don't want to understand. You're right. Tua has been 6 years of trash. And after day one, Shadur Sanders is trash.
5 years of trash. But
they're the same guy, Tone. They're virtually the same person.
I would say this. You say, hey, yo, Tone. Hey, yo, Tony, you a bit early with the judgment. Give him time to succeed or fail. Did you just hear my comment? When I would that's exactly what I just told Benjamin. Let's relax with crowning him and posting everything up and already nominate him the second coming. Let's wait until it manifests itself. At what part of my statement did I say? What part? That's what I was saying. Let's see how he gets within regular games. Let's see how we do a year or two ago. I'm a year or two from now. That's all I'm saying. But to me, honestly, it's mind-boggling to me. But I let people do what they want to do. But like I always say, if you're gonna throw yourself out there and you start tagging people and you want to brag and boast, then you get what comes with that. Because then when we start fighting back about, man, it's only rookie minicamp. Like he's only throwing screen passes. His balls are a little wobbly. We don't see no zip on the ball. That comes with that. So I would be like, man, let's be humble. Let's watch it. You know what? If the draft didn't show everything, like let's everybody be humble and let's let our actions speak. No, I'm not saying all of them was wobbly, Ben. I'm not saying they are. What I'm saying is when you post your clips and then we could go find some wobbly clips. It goes both ways, sir. So if for every good play you do, I could present a wobbly play. I would say let's relax and let it play out.
I don't care. No. We ain't got to play nothing. You know what? I'm the hater. Let me be the hater on the show. Tony's trying to be too nice to y'all.
No, I'm being honest.
Tony's trying to be too nice to y'all. No, and I'm being honest too. Every clip we seen today, it looked like what the Dolphins do on offense. And you know what niggas tell me? That like I said, I'm getting turned up. You know what people tell me when we see things like that from Tua and the team in the offense? It don't work. It's trash. In the league, it will never work. So what we see from day one, those little screen passes and those wobbly passes and those non-velocity passes, guess what? That's going the other way. And you know how I know that, Tone? Because I watch it with my quarterback. When he throws wobbly and not not laser balls and ducks up there in the air. You know what happens to those balls? They get picked off. But now all of a sudden they want me to believe that Shadur Sanders, he's going to get away with it. Why? Because he's black and his last name is Sanders?
No, because he got the watch and he do like this.
Yeah, stop. The man is trash. He's literally trash.
Well, I get, see, y'all want to get it. Okay, this is the last one. Benjamin said Dylan threw some also that was wobbly, but y'all didn't post them.
And that's
right. And we also weren't tagging people in his post acting like of his good ones either.
No. Tone. Forget about that. What did me, you, and a lot of other people say about Dylan Gabriel coming out of the draft?
He was 2-2 as well.
That he's trash.
Like what?
Like, what are we talking about? They're both trash. That's not a good point. They're trash. Dylan Gabriel's trash too.
I would say this. The fact of the matter is, it's the first day. Listen, I know we all excited about football being back. Let's congratulations. Okay, cool. But hey, that's what comes with it. I do want to say something. He has a great opportunity to get a starting position. So hope he get a starting position. And I do want to remind y'all know Scotty Thompson looked good at his first season too, right? You know, there was people enamored by his first season and his arm and his scramble abilities, and he had a pretty good preseason that year. And 2020 hindsight, he's over there in Pittsburgh, and people couldn't stand the fact that he was still on his team the past 2 years. So I would just say, let's pump the brake. Now, I know we get blinded and we have recency bias, and we see the Bo Nix of the world. We see the Jaden Daniels of the world. We see the CJ Stroud of the world. But those aren't those guys.
Hey, Tone, real quick, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
So it was like 2 or 3 days ago when the Dolphins put out a video of Tua throwing passes, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just want to know, I'm asking you, when did you see Benjamin in the past 3 days say he was glad to see football back?
Not one time.
So when Tua throws wobbly passes and not good passes, nobody says they're glad to see football back. Shadur throws 3 screens, and now we glad football's back.
Oh, hey Ben, you was one of the main components saying stop. We seen this before.
Yeah.
They're not doing nothing.
No. We just glad football's back. Get out of here, man.
He said screenshot and post. I don't believe. No, stop, Daily. Don't turn Grumpy up. But listen, we getting back to football. Like I said, there's nothing I could come on here and act like, hey, we seen everything in football practice. Are y'all excited? I will say one thing that stood out to me. I think it was Omar Kelly had posted on his ex. He put that Jonah, I guess how you said Savannah, right? You know, everybody was saying Savannah. Well, at least I was saying Savannah. So I was close. But Savannah, so Jonah, we're gonna call him from now on. Omar Kelly pointed out that he was surprised how fit he was, that he wasn't overweight and like I guess flabby. He was assuming, I guess, because you know he's a Samoan or whatever he's from. I don't want to say the wrong thing. And he says he's surprised at how fit he was, and that's a good sign because we want those guys with that size. If they carry the muscle is heavier than fat, so that is a good sign. And that means he will be a little bit more mobile and be able to handle the things that will be demanded of him to do when it comes to this offense. So that is a good sign. That's one thing that I would like to point out. I like the mindset. I hear some of the quotes. The guys that they was interviewing, I saw one dude said he's decided a learner how to be a professional. And if you guys wondering why that stood out to you, because we know one of the biggest critiques about Cam Smith was not a professional. I forgot the name of the dude, but he pointed out, and I want y'all to think about this. He pointed out that he got in at 6:34, right, earlier than everyone else except for one person, which was Jordan Phillips. Jordan Phillips in there working out, and I want every time I get an opportunity, right, Lou? I'm gonna point this out. These are rookies. There isn't a coach that called them to show up early. There isn't a coach that told them, come in here and learn how to be a professional. This is what we're finding out about these guys the first day that they get here. Mindset. No one is coaching this. I'm gonna point that out every opportunity I get because I'm so sick and tired of people just making it seem like, oh, it's the coach's fault. No. Coaches do not create dogs. Dogs come into the locker room and then they attract more dogs. Like, nah, bro, you got to be a dog to be in this locker room, or you're not gonna survive.
Yeah, is it just me though, Tom? And again, the tape kind of dictates otherwise. I've seen him on the field, and yeah, he looks like a dog, but I hear you say this a lot, Tone. Like we want to see fights. We want that also. Now again, I gotta be honest, right? It's not that I don't like Jonah, and he has some good film.
Yeah.
But don't he look like? It doesn't look like dog. Like when I look at him, I don't see dog.
Oh, you don't see
Right?
dog like one of them.
Like I don't see like when
I
like
know what you're talking about. Like
perfect example. You brought up Jordan Brooks.
Yeah.
When I look at Jordan Brooks, I see dog.
Yeah, you like, nah.
You see what I'm saying? Like when I
be
see
some of
Ray
it
Lewis, Sean Taylor, Ed Reed, I see dog. When I look at Jonah Savannah, I see a good player. But it just seems like it's nice. Like it's friendly.
Yeah.
Like it's, hey, I'll knock you down, but I'll put my hand out to grab you and bring you back up, type of thing, right? That's what it looks like.
Now I heard that he was the type of dude that played through the whistle, which means after. So I hope that now I'll tell you this, and when the people put me up on him, I'm like, okay, I like him, and I did have one critique. And I did say so. Maybe it's only the film. Now, to my credit, I don't have the access to certain films like other ones. So I put up either the film that they have of people breaking them down already, or the little film that they have of his highlight tapes and things like that. And I was like, the one critique that I did have is where I didn't see him try to complete that finish. Like I seen him doing some nasty blocks and destroying people. I saw that, but I just didn't see like I always said it, when I turned that on that film of Greg Zabel and that Booker, when I turned on those films, I say, okay, at the end of the day, you have to stop them from playing. And the only way they stop is when you're on the floor. And that's why I say it's certain things that I look for in people when I'm evaluating them. I just don't evaluate, oh, he got talent, he got this, because I know it's more than that. It's bigger than just him being a very athletic and talented guy. Where's his mindset? And that's the difference when I look at people, I'll be like, yeah, cool. But you know what I'm saying? Be like, when you say it's just he got that it, it's something I know what I'm looking for. And I'm like, oh, that caught my attention. You know, now not saying that's not the only people, because you have a Jonah, right? And you got Austin Jackson, and then who's the guy? The James, and you got James Daniel, and Patrick Paul, right? If all of them, let's say they be dogs, and then Savannah, Jonah, I keep on saying Savannah, Jonah, he's just that guy that goes in there and do his job. That's cool too. But what we making what we put an emphasis on is because we need people to come change, right? We need to change the culture. So we do need people that come in that just have that nasty mentality. Matter of fact, you know, you can look at me and tell I ain't the one to play with. You know, so I get what Lewis is talking about. I did, but the film showed that he's not soft. But it's a difference. So that's a difference. Like, it's a difference between not being soft and just being a downright dog. Now, he's saying the right things. He said he want to put his hands on people. So hopefully he one of them people that be like, oh man, listen, he looked nice, but that's gonna fool you. Oh, we lost Lou. He looked nice, but that's gonna fool you. And he's a dog. Like, don't let the looks fool you. You know what I said? Don't judge the book by a cover. Hopefully he pans out to be one of those type dudes. because action always gonna speak louder than words. From that standpoint. But that's the rookie thing. That's I ain't really want to do too much. You just want to put what his name, Benjamin and Trey, y'all don't notice with all this enamored, it being enamored with these rookie passes and screen plays and throwing the ball out of the backfield, 8 yard pack completions with no defenders. Like, let's relax. Let's wait until the live bullets start flying and let's see how they really perform. But I do want to point something out too. First, let me point this part out about our quarterback, Tua, right? And y'all know it's the offseason. We get into it. So yeah, we're gonna start back talking about it. So y'all get used to it. Let's get back to football. And I do see I want to ask a question. And this is the fun question. I want to ask a question. Can somebody please, if you know, please explain to me what a Tuaner is. Please, someone explain to me what a Tuaner is. Because I'm hearing. He said, "Red shirt, little bite." I see, look. I see, Grumpy. It is what it is, man. The blitz pick up, just so y'all know. Oh, I see you, Jonathan. I see you in there. That's the roll fins. I'm gonna give you. Actually, let me see if I can check for you real quick. But yeah, while I'm checking, man, y'all, somebody explain to me what Tuaner is. Like, I heard, I wouldn't call it a Tuaner, and the definition of a Tuaner that I heard. Shout out to TD and the boys over there, the Dolphins Collectible. 2 box tone was good, bro. Shout out Kemil. Shout out to TD and the boys over there at the Dolphins Collectible. The definition he said of a Tuaner, I better not be called a Tuaner ever again. Ever again. Like, I think y'all done took that word and just changed it, and it just morphed into its own. Whatever you define as a Tuaner, that's what you call it. That's what I thought. I'm like, what? I heard. Okay, so Dave got the first one. Dave so it said, those who refuse to criticize a player because of their love for said player. Okay. It say, Key Mill say, I heard the same thing over there, Tone. That's the ugly word, Tone. Okay. Game Boy 305. What's up? Hey, my boy Game. Hey, Game Boy. Game Boy, talk to me about your boy Tyler Hero. I know you happy today. Hold on. I know you happy. Let me. I know you happy. You heard what Pat Riley said, and I hate to tell you, I think Pat Riley a little capping. He trying to keep the value for Tyler Hero a little high. I think it's a vet move. I just want to let you know right now, Game Boy. I believe it's a vet move for him to keep Tyler Hero. He wanted his value to be up there, you know. But if you really go break down what he really said when they were talking about him getting the max, he didn't technically say he deserved the max. He said he deserved to be somewhere in the round. So I think you gotta, you might want to just go back and dissect what he was saying just a little bit more and see that he made sure he teetered the line just a little bit, so he can make it seem like he on his side, but he really isn't. He said all is right in the real. So Dade, I heard he said Dade, I heard what TD definition of Tuaner is. Hey Lewis, cause you been on, you back, Lou? I know you pop up. Let me see if can you.
Yeah. I'm back, Tom.
Okay, can you please, cause you've been around, you the vet over here. Can you please explain to me what is a Tuaner? Oh, what did you hear a Tuaner was?
Okay, so I'm glad we're having this conversation. A Tuaner, it's not even about what I hear. I'm going to give you my definition of a Tuaner. It's Batman. For the people that know Batman, Batman is the definition of what a Tuaner is. It doesn't matter what Tua does. Tuaneers are the people that are going to defend Tua to the death, no matter what.
Wow.
See, if a person like me, Tone, right, when I was last season when we won 3 games straight and Tua was playing well, and I was like, oh, the oos is loose. I'm just a fan. I'm a fan of the team. And I'm a fan of a guy that when a guy's playing well, I don't care what my feelings are. I'm going to give that person or the coach or whoever credit, right? That's what a fan does. A Tuaner is a guy that You could go up to him and say, "Hey, man, legitimately, look, I seen Tua walking down the side of the street. His shoes weren't tied," and they will call you everything but the,
Child of
I
God.
mean, child of God, right? They'll call you every name in the book just for saying that Tua's shoes weren't tied. That's what a Tuaner is. If you got to defend that man to the death, you're labeled a Tuaner, in my opinion.
Okay, that's kind of. I'm glad you said that because it kind of fit right into what I was saying. Before I do that, hey, Triple S, if you are in here, and if anyone of y'all see him, I might DM him. Let them know. Your package is on the way. It should be there by May 15th. So not this Monday, the following Monday. Just so y'all know, I want to give y'all updates. You know what I'm saying? And I saw. Let me see. Um, It didn't give me your date yet. Wait. It didn't give me a definite date for road fins, yours, but it says arriving by May 19th between the 20 and the 23rd. So y'all be on the lookout for those. I would like to say this: the Mental Nest for yours, they didn't have in X, so I did get you the Nike version, road fin. So I just ain't want to wait too late because I wanted to make sure we get it out to you. So be on the lookout for that one. It's coming through. But so Lou, I'm glad you said that, right? Because I'm hearing, and this is to TD, and then I spoke to Von Joe, and he told me the person that was the one that came up with that slogan was one of our dear friends, close,
Absolutely.
Someone we rock with really heavy, been on the show multiple times. Infinity, I heard she came up with it. So I would like to ask
Yeah,
her
yes, she did. Yes, she
what
did.
her what she defined it. Now I did hear Vondo told me that she came up with it on. Shout out to the homie TD. He's been very supportive too. Um, she when she said it came up with on TD's channel, and TD explained this was last night on the Dolphins Collective. With TD, Omar Kelly, Adam Poupart, and Dudley Duron. Oh, I got something to tell you about Dudley too. It's gonna get a little hot. So TD was explaining that a Tuaner is basically the Alabama fans that came over here only for tour. This is what I heard the definition of a Tuaner was. So when I heard that, I'm like, there better not be another show that mentioned my name in Tuaner.
Nah, well, again, that might be TD's definition. I think
But
everybody is going to have different definitions. That's not
but they
mine, though.
came up
I'm
with
sorry.
the term though. So that's what I said before you got up. I think everyone took the term and they gave it a name of its own. And whatever you said was, that's what it's called. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now I have a better understanding. But the original term for it is the Alabama fans that comes over here for tour. So everyone, they just here to support Tua. And when he leaves, they're going to leave. Wherever he goes, they're going to go with him. So I'm like,
And I'm not
oh,
saying that's not. I'm not saying that's not the case, Tone. But
yeah.
could we make the argument that any player that you bring in is going to be like that?
Yeah, they're going to have their own type of fans. That is you. You're 100
Right,
with that. Yeah.
like Kenneth Grant. We drafted Kenneth Grant at 13. You don't think there's going to be Michigan fans that might not
Yes.
really
Yes.
like Miami, but
Yeah.
they love Kenneth Grant?
They
They're going
are.
to come
Yep.
and just, even if they're not the biggest fans like me, you, or others, they're still going to be Dolphin fans because one of their players went there.
Yeah,
I
no,
just
no,
don't.
no, Lou. I'm
I
not
don't
saying that
understand
it's
that.
wrong. I'm not saying that it's wrong because I'm not gonna say I'm not saying that it's wrong. What I'm saying is that term or that type of mindset and that behavior is not only reserved for Tua. It happens to every fan. Miami Dolphins have a lot of
Facts.
fans because of Dan Marino.
Facts.
Pittsburgh fans and people from Cali for Dan Marino. A lot of people tell you I'm a fan because of Dan Marino. But what I would say is, then you got to find your. Well, you don't got to do whatever you do whatever you want, but it's find your own term because you can't change the term of theirs. Well, you could use it however you want. But what I was
Right.
just saying
Right.
is that's their
Right.
term. They say you a tour level because if I
Absolutely.
say a tour near right, I would have before I heard them right. I would have labeled, and I still am going to label Batman as a Tuaner because you cannot say nothing wrong about Tua, and he
Facts.
refused to say anything wrong about Tua. It's Tua, 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 Tua. No
Facts.
matter what happens, he refused to acknowledge the flaws of him. So I'm like, wow. Now, Tua is a polarizing figure. We understand that this is why that name. You remember he had Tuaner on. I don't think we ever had a Dan Marino on, or you understand. We ain't had no Marino Nears or Tauneers. We didn't, So it just took a life of its own because of how polarizing it became. And maybe because it come from Alabama and that's how it is, and they don't have no professional sport organizations especially when it comes to football. So Auburn and Alabama they're kings over there. So I just wanted to break that down because I'm like, okay, is this true? I want to do my homework. But speaking of Tauneers, right? I was listening to it and I heard, and a couple of people told me, and I don't know Dougie from Can of Paint, but I was listening to the show and he was like, people call me a Tauneer because the support, like if I don't criticize Tua, but then when anytime someone says something about Tua, he will point out everyone else's. Oh, because Tyreek was running the wrong. I remember he was like, oh, Tua fell. Someone said Tua failed in the Buffalo game. Oh, because Tyreek, in the Houston game. Oh, because Tyreek ran the wrong play. So the route. So why throw it then? We just gonna leave him out the throwing it anyways? I'm just trying to figure out that. Then he said, oh, what about the Buffalo game? Oh, Claypool should never been on the field. Why would you go to Chase Claypool, sorry. Chase Claypool in that situation anyway. Game is on the line. You know what that is? That's panicking. That's panicking. When the game is on the line, Tyreek goes out, a calm field general is going to understand I can't trust Chase Claypool fresh off the bench to run a timing route on the out route, which is my weakness. Which means that has to be perfect. No one is talking about that. Some of the critiques that we give with Tua is, yeah, he can make every throw, but he has to be perfect with everything. He has to be on time with everything. He can't be late. And a receiver have to run the perfect route is what now this is a new thing. All the receivers have to run perfect routes. This is why I say quarterbacks that win in spite of. Now, I would have gave you that with the Tyreek thing when he ran the wrong route. If that safety one sitting there like a couple plays before that and almost picked him off a drive or two before that. With this, it's like, can we please? And it's things like that make us like point out all the Tua's flaws is because what are we doing here?
It's not only that, Tone. When I hear that, because I didn't get to watch the show last night. Shout out to the boys over there, Dudley, TD,
Yeah, shout out to them. Yeah,
Alec Kupar, and Omar. Right? Shout out to the boys. Right?
Oh, but we hold everyone accountable over here. You know how that goes.
The fact of the matter is, what's crazy to me, Tone, is when I heard you say what Doug said, talking about, well, it was that Tyreek ran the wrong route. You know what's crazy about that?
Oh, yeah.
You know what's crazy about that, Tone? Remember that 70-point game against Denver?
Yeah.
The first touchdown of the game, Tyreek ran the wrong route.
Wrong route, yes.
Now Tua made a shift left and held the ball, did this, created enough time, and hit Tyreek Hill. Now, did you hear anybody bring up that Tyreek ran the wrong route on that play?
Nope.
What did they say, Tone?
They was all praising Tua for
finding them and
finding them
and making a play and adjusting and doing all that. No one cared about Tyreek running the wrong route. It's only when Tua fails when it's Tyreek ran the wrong route. Mm-hmm. You see how it works? You see the double standard?
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
Hey, Triple S, I see you in here, my boy. Next week, Monday, the May 15th. Your hat should be there, should be touching down. Keep a lookout for it. Let me know when it touch down, my boy. Go ahead, Lou.
No, I just wanted to point out the double standard.
Yeah, the
Like
doubles.
when Tua fails, it will be whatever else happened around him. But even if something fails around him, but he makes a play, no one cares about what failed, right? Like you can't have it both ways, bro.
That
Don't
is
tell
true.
me, oh, Tyreek ran the wrong route, but then when Tua throws a touchdown pass to Tyreek running the wrong route, no one cared about the wrong route. It was, oh, did you see the play Tua made? Well, damn, why didn't Tua when Tyreek against the Texans and when he ran that wrong route, why didn't Tua make a play then?
Mm, mm.
That's the
You got
question I would be asking.
to keep the same energy, and you have to be able to see those type of things. That's kind of these are kind of like the downfalls of time-based defense. But you got to have a guy that can extend plays. It's becoming sorry, not becoming. It's becoming more and more of a necessity now. You have to have a guy that can create, that can extend play, that can play off platform, because things like that happen more often than not, and your quarterback has to be able to see that. That's when you just rely upon everyone being perfect. You have to. When if everyone have to be perfect for you to be successful, then you playing the wrong sport. There's errors all the time. The problem is, why is it that you're continuously making the same mistakes? That's where the problem comes into play at. We saw that same route, same defense, take away that same spot all game. And you still made the mistake. I don't need you to be perfect. No. But I don't need you to make the same mistake, especially in the same game, over and over and over again. That's when it becomes like, what are we doing? And we can't make excuses for that. Now, forget it. I mean, not forget about Tua, but this last one that I wanted to address, because I wasn't going to address it, but since it came up earlier, and I know me and Lewis feel strongly about this. I don't know if we ever said this on our show, but we're gonna talk about it today, and that's this Dan Marino thing, right? And it's all about keeping the same energy, because what I don't like, right? I don't like how, and this is not for the Tuaner, well, it's for everyone. I don't like how the people that dislike Tua, they have no problem when we critique him for not being good enough in the big games. When we critique him of failing in the big time moments, in the big games, late in the season, and the Buffalo hurdle. We destroy him for that. Rightfully so. He deserved some criticism. No one is above criticism. But Lou, I want to ask you a question. How come we can't keep that same energy for Dan Marino?
Because people again always have double standards, Tone. See, this is when I heard the debate today, and I'll just bring it up the one in Twitter when Trey was in there talking about, oh well, Dan, why do people kill Dan and stuff? Because it's warranted. That's why you kill Dan. Because Trey was making the example of, oh well, people were lying, or I forgot the gist of it, but remember, Tone, when I told Trey, well, see, people, and I don't want to mention the names, but when they come up here and they lie and tell you, well, Dan Marino gave me a chance to win. That's a feeling. I can't tell anybody that they didn't feel like they were going to win. What I can tell people is, though, we weren't going to win. That's what I could tell people. And the facts are behind me. Because what you went and did when you heard me illustrate that, you went and looked up the numbers for Dan Marino against Buffalo in the playoffs.
That is a fact.
And he was mediocre. He was average.
Yep.
What we would label Tua as trash. That's what Dan Marino was.
Yep.
So this narrative that he gave us a chance to win, well, again, like I say to him all the time, I'm old just like those other people. I remember, and just like other people could tell you, oh, well, he gave us a chance. On Sundays, Tone, especially playing Buffalo in the playoffs, I would wake up those Sunday mornings or Saturday, whenever the playoff game was, and I didn't think we had a chance. So just like those people could tell you, oh, we had a chance, I'm telling you we didn't. And we never did. Don't give me the anomaly game here and there where Dan Marino won. Stop. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't this god. And, oh, well, Dan Marino, all he needed was a running game. He didn't need no running game because if the Dolphins would have gave it to him, all he would have did was check out a running plays anyway, because that's what he did. And when the defense did have good games, when Dan Marino would play, I watched games where Dan Marino was 2 interceptions, 3 interceptions, 4 interceptions. Hell, I remember a game against Dallas where he threw 5. Now, if Tua Tagovailoa threw 5 interceptions, what would we do to him, Tony? We'd kill him.
Well, Lou, I was trying to bring it up. But that shit keep crashing. I don't know what's it's pretty tripping. But I was trying to bring up his let me see. I was trying to bring up his record right there, but that shit done gooped out. I don't know what it's doing.
Either way, Tone, you said it. He was 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
I got it right here. So his record, and I just went to Buffalo. His overall record is 8-10 in the playoffs. So he had to lose a playoff record. Let's point that out. Right? Now, cool. He took us to a Super Bowl. That was nice, and he deserved all the credit. He had one of the greatest arms. The stats was amazing, right? But see, and this is where you going. You say Danny had way more good games than bad. This is what we finna kill that narrative right now. Let me put it up. So, I'm gonna give y'all the actual numbers. I wanted to share it, but my computer tripping right now. Dan Marino is 1-3 against Buffalo in the playoffs. 1-3, Octane Genius. Dan Marino, right? Dan Marino has 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions versus Buffalo in the playoffs. I'm gonna say that again. 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions against Buffalo in the playoffs. Furthermore, he only has 1 game where he threw more touchdowns than interceptions against Dan Marino. He only had 1 game. I'm going to say this again for the people in the back. 1 game that he threw more touchdowns than interceptions against Buffalo. 1. He was 3 touchdowns for 2 interceptions. Still two interceptions that game, and we lost. Right?
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Forget about the playoff thing. I don't know if you would be able to do it. Can you look? Because I'm seeing Octane Genius in here, and he's saying he knows Dan personally, and again, I get it.
Yeah.
Dan is my favorite. He's my favorite Dolphin player ever of all time, too. Right?
Yeah.
Tom,
yeah.
if you wouldn't mind, from the time Dan Marino played for the Dolphins, so what, 1983, I think, the draft, go from every year, and can you give me like the end of the year records with Dan Marino?
Like, I did it that last time. Okay.
Because I just want to get back. Yeah. You can definitely get some time. I just want to get to the point of where when people say he gave us the best chance to win, I remember a lot of Dolphin seasons that were 9-7, 10-6. That's what we are now. 9-8, 10-7. That's what we are. Like this narrative, like, oh my God, Dan Marino wasn't going 14-3. Dan Marino wasn't going 15-2. There was a lot of 9-6, 9-7s, 10-6. Those were Dan Marino. I remember those days. Like people are making it seem like Dan Marino's winning 12, 13, 14 games a season. We weren't. Like this narrative, like, oh my God, Dan Marino was
You
doing,
said
bro. No, no.
what year you want me to start from, Lou?
From when he was drafted, from '83, and then let's go down the list. '84. What was the Dolphins' records in those years? Because maybe I'm wrong.
All right, I'm gonna look it up. He, if I'm not mistaken, I think he started off good, and then he started to
Yeah, no, no, no.
fall
I
off
know. Yeah, I know
toward the end.
I know he was good. Right, right, right. I'm just saying I want to know because of this narrative that Dan Marino always gave us a shot to win, and we again, cool. Give me the records. Because if we're not, if we're ending the season 9-7, we're winning as much as we're losing. Like, what are we talking about?
So his first year, he won the last 5 games. The first year, 1983.
He won how many?
I don't know if that was his first. He won his last 5 games.
Oh, okay. All right.
1983.
Okay.
Right? You want to do the last 5 games, right? You want to do the last 5 games?
No, no, no. Just give me I want the whole the record of like the team. What was the team at the end of the year in 83, 84, 85, 86, 87?
Okay, so
Like
83,
yeah,
80, 83 was we were talking for. It don't have the record. I got to go week by week. So 83 they was 12-4, 84, 14-2. These were, you
okay.
remember that's the year he went to the Super Bowl.
Right, right.
85, 12-4.
Okay.
12-4, 85.
All right.
Shit. 86, he was 8-8.
Okay.
87, 8-7.
Oh, okay.
8-8. I mean 88, 6-10.
Right. Giving us best a lot of chances to win, Tone. That's what I'm hearing. Gave us a lot of chances to win.
89, 8-8. Oh.
Sounded like a bunch of stats and numbers, Tone. That's what it sounded like to me.
Okay, Nalu. 90, 12-4. 91, 8-8. Damn. 92. We remember the 92 season, right? You there, Lou? Lou, you there? If you not, well, 92, it was 11-5. Shit. 93, 9-7.
Tone, can you hear me?
You there, Lou? I hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
which one did you lose off on?
I kind of lost signal at like 90, 91.
Okay, so 92, they was 11-5. You still hear me, right?
Yeah, I got you.
So 92, they was 11-5. 93, they was 9-7.
Okay.
94, they were 10-6.
Okay.
95, 9-7.
Okay.
96, 8-8. That's the Jimmy Johnson year. 97, 9-7. 98, 10-6. 99, 9-7.
So what did I tell you, Tom? What did I tell you, Tom? A bunch of 9-7, 10-6.
You know what, Lou? Lou, I'm not gonna lie. You just made it even worse for him. I didn't even deep dive into this like this. The boy gave us half good season and half bad season. I mean, and half mediocre seasons.
I told you, Tone.
Yo,
Sometimes, Tone, I know what I'm talking about.
yo,
Sometimes I know what
yo.
I'm talking about, Tone. When I was like, I remember a bunch of 9-7, 10-6. Didn't I tell you that before you started reading off the? What did I say?
I I didn't know we had a 6-10, a 8-8, a 8-7. I didn't know.
Now, it sounds like a guy that threw up a lot of numbers and a lot of stats, and he also threw like 40 times a game. So if you're throwing 40 times a game and you're completing about 25 to 28, you're probably going to throw for 300. Yeah, cool story. At the end of the day, it didn't matter in winning. And this is what people forget. I love Dan Marino, but we weren't winning. And these are the same people, Tone, you've heard them. He gave us a chance to win. Does 6-10 sound like winning? How about 8-8? What is 8-8? Is 8-8 is average, correct?
Yes, sir. That's 50. That's right.
9-7 is a game above 500, correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, cool. But he gave us a chance to win every Sunday. Get bro, stop lying to yourself.
Is he that Prescott? Justin Herbert?
He's Justin Herbert, is what he is.
Nah, he ain't that. He went to a Super Bowl, and I get to him, and AFC Championship. Dang. I was all just keeping it real. I'll be like, because you remember, Dan Marino 80. So when it came to 90, so from 92 is when I started getting into it, because I remember where I was at in that 92 season, 93, 94. So round 96 is when I really was like, okay, because, I'm playing football to start going, I'm in middle school now, getting ready to go to high school. So I'm really in tune. So I saw, for what I would say, the tailor end of his season. So I was like, I'm not going to critique him on it, because I remember the 92 year, and I remember what he did for us. We had the opportunity to do big things. Now looking at it, it's like, this is what y'all, they built a statue for that. They built a statue for that. Do Larry Zonka got a statue?
Nah, Bob Greasy don't have one neither.
Bob Greasy, no. Mercury Morris, no, none of them. But Dan Marino has a statue outside of our stadium, people. Now, I wouldn't want to say, I always said it's about the logo. I always say it's about the logo. And you gonna give me a statue for Dan Marino because he threw for a lot of yards in a bunch of mediocre seasons. And the dude that brought you an undefeated season and 2 Super Bowls, no one on that team got a statue? What are we rewarding here? Individual stats? Individual accolades? I'm sorry. This is what we rewarding. I thought they say the culture started with Mike McDaniel. Is that not soft to you? Hey, Lou.
What's good, Tom?
Which one of our owners was the? I think he owned Waste Management. Was that Wayne Huizenga?
Wayne Huizenga.
That's why he gave Dan Marino a statue. Trash.
That's a fact, because it was trash.
Trash. You resonated with him. Bam. This is
that's a great point. Now, Tone. Again, I know you're about to read that comment. Just real quick.
Go ahead.
You just did that deep dive. We went through the years and we went through the numbers. Now I'm asking you, for the people that told you, and there's been multiple, he gave me a chance to win every Sunday. Does it sound like that?
Where's crypto? Where's crypto?
No. But it's not only crypto. KP has said it.
He was the one arguing with me today. I get it. No, that sound.
No. Nene, we're gonna hold people accountable, right? Nene has said it.
No. I was just thinking, yeah. Well, all of them would.
Mr. Negative has said it.
No. Oh yes, he was one of. Oh my God, Mr. Negative, and I mess with Mr. Negative like that.
They're all and again, bro. Everybody, crypto. I mess with Mr.
Yeah, we mess
Negative
with
is
all
my
those. Yeah, yeah,
guy.
yeah. But
Nene is my sister.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
KP,
yeah.
I mess with them. Again, but they're wrong. They're wrong.
So Bam said priorities. They gave a statue to the most marketable dolphin instead of champions. Hashtag dolphin culture. And they want to blame what a
Talk
stadium
about it.
built. And they want to blame what a stadium is built for the culture. No. It's what they rewarding. It's the problem with this culture. So you mean to tell me? I maybe correct me if I'm wrong. And y'all know I'm gonna tell y'all how it is. I'm dropping Jim. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you mean to tell me that when you go to the stadium, the statue is one of the people that they want you to emulate. We want these type of guys because these are the guys that we want to bring in so we can have that type of success. You got the Dwayne Wade out in Miami Heat. Dwayne Wade.
No. Look, Tom. Look right here. Look.
It's obvious you missed the guy's career. You're young, missed it. No, I'm 41 years old. I didn't miss it.
Now, Tone, before I'm the guy that told you there was a bunch of 8 and 8, 9 and 7, 10 and 6 on there.
Yes, you were.
Now again, does that sound like I've watched every game this dude has watched?
Yes, you did.
I've watched all of them. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I've been in the stadium for more Dolphin games with Dan Marino than I have been in Dolphin games for Tua Tagovailoa, Mike McDaniel, Brian Flores, and all the other guys. You know how many times I was in that stadium watching Dan Marino?
See, it's things like that, and I see the fan base, and I see when you see things like that, I'll be like, okay, these are the type of people that I'll be talking to. Be like, you're not a logo guy, you're a player guy. You can't say anything wrong about Dan Marino. It's all the excuses in the world.
Tony, what were we just talking about? You asked a question 20 minutes ago. What is the Tuaner? It's Octane. What's his name? Octane Genius. He's a Dan Marino near. He's the same people that called they're Tuaneers. That they do the same thing for the guy they love, and that guy was mediocre.
I did not.
They're doing the exact same thing. The people that we call Tuaneers are Dan Marino nears.
Yeah, he just admitted. He said that's true. Okay, but I loved him, and I'm a fan since 1972. I mean 71. So you wanted to blind. So I do not. Now I told people. I said, leave me alone. Don't make me do homework. Don't make me do nothing because it could get real dangerous and that thing. And the Lord just asked me to do just a small bit of research, and this is what they built the culture around. So, what are my aspirations? When I go out, I say, well, to get a statue in front of the Miami Dolphin, right? To get a statue, all I gotta do is put up big numbers. You don't gotta win Super Bowls. You don't have to win on the greatest level. That's not the goal here. The goal is be marketable, wow the crowds with a nice strong arm, throw for a whole bunch of yards. But when it comes to the playoffs and when it comes to you could fail more than you've been successful. So you don't have to succeed more than you fail. You just got to look good failing. Is this the culture that we're supposed to accept? We're supposed to accept wowing people while you fail. See, when you come over here, you're going to get this truth because we are really for the logo. So anyone that put on that jersey with that Dolphin logo on it, I'm expecting greatness from. Now, he got his gold jacket. Hell of a quarterback. But anyone know me and anyone know how I evaluate players, and especially the ones in key position like basketball, like quarterback in football, you got to win in the clutch moments. I don't care if Dan Marino threw for 150 yards a game and he threw for 2 touchdowns or 1 touchdown. But if that 1 touchdown was the game winning or the game tying touchdown to get you in the overtime or give you an opportunity to come back and win with a game winning field goal, I'll take that any day over somebody throwing for 500 yards for a touchdown. But when the game on the line, we can't pull out the victory. What? And this the guy that is mentioning Tua. Or maybe mentoring Tua.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what he was saying, mentoring. Bro, at the end of the day, I don't want people to get the wrong thing. Dan Marino is still my favorite player. I love Dan Marino. I love him, right? But we're just calling out for, again, we're talking to the larger picture. People make it seem like the Dolphins have had this great culture. Like Dan Marino was winning all these big games, and he gave us the chance to win. Again, we just went through a quick deep dive. Maybe, Tone, maybe since it's the offseason, maybe we do a deeper dive on this and we get more numbers and things, right? This is just off the fly. But all we are doing is showing there was a lot of mediocre. There was a lot of 8-8, 9-7, 10-6. That's what we are now. Okay, so 2 years ago we were 9-8, and last year we were,
no, 2 years ago we was 11-6.
And the year before that we were 9-8. Again, it was the same thing with Brian Flores. We had a 9-8 season. With Brian Flores, we had a 10-7 season. They were saying,
wow,
that's mediocre, bro. That's the same thing we had with Dan Marino. That's what we're trying. No one's saying that Dan was bad. No one's saying he was a bad quarterback. No one's saying he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Again, I love Dan Marino. But the narrative of he always gave us the best chance to win and he was this and no, he wasn't. I'm sorry.
Steve Malloy say, Tony speaking the truth, drive on, brother. I want to point these out because see, these are the type of people that we got to point out. Michael Pulisic, right? Pulisic, right? Hopefully I said your name correctly, my brother. No QB wins by himself. So is Trent Dilfer better than Marino because he won a Super Bowl? Nope, never said that. Never, no one ever mentioned one quarterback that's better than Dan Marino. No one ever said that. All we are doing is holding him accountable for what he has done. That's what we're doing. See, but people would do this and say, oh, the team was trash and he didn't have a team ahead of him. Well, how he got all these yards if he ain't had no help?
No, Tone. What's crazy is for the argument for Dan Marino, right? It was about the team. And that's fine. Cool. But why is it for the same people that love Dan Marino that killed Tua, why when the team gets mentioned for Tua, they don't want to hear team?
Nah, forget that.
They don't want to hear team then. When it comes to Tua, they don't want to hear team. But when Dan Marino, they have a team around him. You see how it works?
No. See, when you want to tell me that Dan Marino, see, I just told y'all, just let me stay right here. No, but let's do a little bit deep diving, right? Because I always say, do your part, cool. Let your team, you need to get a better team around you, but you got to do your part. So let's go. Like I said, I'm about winning. Cool. Let's go to the Buffalo games in the playoffs that I was telling y'all about because I was looking up while they was running their mouth, right? The first game against Buffalo Bills, he had 323 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We lost that game, right? We lost that game. Let me see if I could.
Hey, Tone, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
My guy said, Octane Genius said he never had a great running back. I can agree with that. And then he said he always had a shitty defense. Now, did Dan Marino play with Zach Thomas?
Yeah.
Zach Thomas has a what?
Gold jacket.
The same thing that Dan Marino has. Is Zach Thomas a shitty player?
Nope. Jason
He
Tatum.
played now. His 2 starting corners for multiple years was Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison. Was those shitty corners?
Nope.
How about Brock Marion? Was he a shitty safety?
Nope.
Lewis Oliver, was he a shitty safety?
Nope. Troy Vincent.
Was he a shitty corner?
Nope.
How about Trace Armstrong
Trace
and that defensive
Armstrong.
line with Trace Armstrong, Tim Bowens, Daryl
Nope.
Gardner's? Was that a shitty defense?
Hold on. Let's not talk to him no more. He just went as far as to try to discredit Zach Thomas to try to prove a
There
point.
you go, Tone. There you
This is
go.
when you know you all the way gone. Zach Thomas
That's
was
all you
always
got to
too
do.
small. That ain't stopped him from getting in the Hall of Fame. His height ain't stopped him from being one of the greatest linebackers in NFL history. That's one of them. But you know what, since what? I'm gonna finish giving you these playoff numbers against that one team we couldn't get past. The second playoff game he had in Buffalo, he had 268 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions and got sacked 4 times. Well, you know what? Every quarterback, they do a bad game. Okay, the third playoff game that he played against Buffalo, he had 422 yards, right? 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions. This is the Marino that the team was folding around him. He was doing everything he can. He was trying to hold this team up as much as he can. That's the performance he put on. The last one, which is the only game he won against them, right? When he said they had a trash defense, right? The man only had 235 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's all he needed to win that game. Why? Because the defense stood up. And I think Jay Feely came in that game and played too. Because Dan was trash that year. Yeah, Dan, trash. He said, oh, this is the last one I'll bring up. I love Zach Thomas, but he had limitations and Bills and other teams used him the same way they did with Dan Marino. Same way they did Dan Marino. Loved him. But when it comes to Buffalo, he had his limitations. He threw his career touchdown to interception ratio against the Buffalo Bills is a whopping 1.7 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. 1.7 touchdown per game to 2 interceptions per game. That's his career. Now, if I would have went back and did research to say, man, Dan Marino was balling out, his team folded behind him. And we were losing games 38-31 and 49-42 or even 24-26. Nope. That's not the score in most of them games. Most of them games we getting blowed out. But you see, we can't keep it real because we love players. And I see that mindset. This is what we'll be the bad guys, but this is the type of mentality we trying to get our fans out of. What's the standard? We have no standards. That's why people will come in here and say, oh, Tua is the greatest quarterback since Dan Marino. What did he won? What has he won? How hard was it? Where's our standards? My standard is win. Now, I got in a debate multiple days, and they asked me about Klay Thompson over James Harden. I said, I'm taking Klay Thompson's career over James Harden. One person asked me Robert Horry over who else it was. I think it was James Harden too. I said, oh no, Robert Horry over Charles Barkley. I said I'm taking Robert Horry's career over Charles Barkley. You know why? And someone asked me because they know Joe Burrow is my favorite quarterback. And they said, they put him to Jalen Hurts. I said I'm taking Jalen Hurts' career over Joe Burrow. And that's my favorite quarterback. You want to know why? Because Jalen Hurts went to 2 Super Bowls and he won 1. Now, the last time I checked, the purpose of playing football is to win a Super Bowl. Not to have the greatest stats, not to lead the league in passing. That's cool long as it come along the way of winning the championships. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't think Tom Brady is in the top 5 in any statistical category. Don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. But anyone would take, maybe outside of Joe Montana, would take Tom Brady's career over of theirs. Anyone. Cool. Right? Sorry. Then I see they stood in there. Oh, he ain't had no team. He ain't had no running game. He ain't had this. Cool. Joe Burrow didn't either this year, but he still put up 35, 40 points a game. I got some of these games, and Dan Marino, you can't be throwing interceptions. Lewis told me. And I remember these days, and I ain't holding up against it because it was towards his tail end of the season. I didn't go back to the beginning of the season and see he was having mediocre seasons. 8-8, 8-8, 6-10. The man went 6-10 one year. 8-8, 8-8, 9-7, 9-7, 10-6. What? But no, the problem is you cannot be throwing interceptions and putting your team in the hard way if your team is not as good around you. Then you have to be the one to. What is the standard? People like to point out all the times he came back. But you know what? I remember some of them games too. And I remember that some of the times that we was down is because he threw an interception, had costly turnovers, and then he had to fight his way out of a hole. Now, to his credit, he did it. Right? Octane stopped you. He said Jim Kelly went to 4 straight, and I would never take his career either. See, you see the difference? I'm not going to award him. I wonder if Buffalo got a statue of Jim Kelly outside they building. No one won a Super Bowl over there, so. But it's crazy how
people are just showing their true colors.
Yes,
we've been talking about this conversation, Tony, for the past 25 minutes. And look what G says. G says this conversation is tired and exhausting already after 25 minutes. Now, this is the same dude that's been talking about Tua Tagovailoa every 2.5 years.
Years, but never stop.
And never stops. But 25-minute conversation about Dan Marino, and he's already tired.
Yeah, and people talk about the run game. He should check out the run plays. He should check right out of him. Didn't give him a chance. He didn't give it an opportunity. That's why him and Jimmy Johnson got into it. It's crazy. Can we raise our standards as fans? Like, this is... Lou, they always say respect our elders, and I have the utmost respect for all my elders. I always give them respect because that's how I was raised. Long as one thing I don't do is let anyone disrespect me. But when you're I respect you, but I won't follow them. I don't blindly follow anyone because I would never want to have that kind of mentality. The way these people make excuses for Tua, the way these people make excuses for Dan Marino. Just because you like them, me personally, I'm not a fan like that. Because I want success for my team. %, delusional Dolphin fan. Respect also means telling the truth. And that's what I will always do. I will always be honest and tell the truth. When we come down to anything. So, of course, when it comes down to my team and the success or lack thereof, I'm going to point out the flaws in it. Sometimes we got to take a step back and say, man, dang, was it really all we thought it was? Because Crypto said, right? Shout out to Crypto. That's my boy, y'all. Just so y'all know, that's why I keep bringing the name up because I know he ain't going to get offended by me calling him out. Crypto said, every time we got on the field with Dan Marino, we believe we had a chance to win. I said, you know what? Back then, that was cool. That was an opinion cool. And I said, when do opinion become facts? When the results come back. Now, these results have came back. And he failed more often than he's won. So that was belief. The belief that you had wasn't really real. Because what we do know is when he went up against the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs, he was going to be 1-3. So you had a 1 out of 4 chances, 75% chance of losing the game. 75% chance. Let that sink in. But every time he stepped on the field, we believed that we had a chance to win. Because we was all blinded by what they was pushing in the media. I'm saying, I don't bring up, I see that, I'm not going to bring that, I don't bring up personal life because what they do in personal life, everyone is human. You know, this is strictly sports, and it's the same thing when it comes to injuries. If you're on the field and you can play, all excuses go out the door. When you get on that field, you letting everyone know I'm capable of doing what I got to do. All the lead excuses at the door. That all due respect with what I feel. I utmost respect for Dan Marino. He never did anything wrong with me. He's always, to me, seemed like to be a stand-up guy in the community and everything. They got a street named after him. But on field and these performances that I'm seeing, now I'm only pointing out the Buffalo games. Well, I also pointed out that he's 8-10 in the playoffs. Now he went to a Super Bowl, right? And so that was what? 3? That was 2 at the time. It was only 2, right? It wasn't no was it a wild card when he went to the Super Bowl in '93? Was the wild card around in '92?
In '84?
I mean '84? No, right? So
I don't believe so, no.
So he won 2 games, the divisional round and the AFC championship round, right? So that's 2 off the bat. He went to a championship game, right? So that time I think it was a wild card. So that was, if we played in the wild card, that's 3, which means he got 5 of those three wins in 2 seasons. I'm just saying, to let the math do the math. Do the math on the rest of his career in the playoffs. How many one and done playoffs seasons we had? Listen, one thing y'all gonna learn about me, I want winners. You can always, they try to do it earlier. You can always try to combat me and try to rebuttal and say, bring up my favorite players, because they try to use it against Joe Burrow's favorite player. But when it came down to it, I say, yeah, I'm taking Jalen Hurts' career over his, though. I'm sorry. He's a way better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. No one would debate that. But I'm taking the winner, though. He got it done. I don't care how you got it done. I don't care if the team built around you. I don't care. Bringing up Trent Dilfer, guess what he didn't do? He didn't throw interceptions and cost his team losses. They asked him to manage the game, didn't manage the game. So when Dan Marino got that defense, right, that was formidable, he should have became a game manager and stopped. You remember them years, he wanted to be the Dan Marino of old. And he was throwing more interceptions than touchdowns, when all we needed you to do was manage the game. Let the defense carry you to a Super Bowl, like Tom Brady first 2 out of 3. He did have a more than good enough defense to win championships. But he wanted to be the Dan Marino of old. And that wasn't what we needed to win a championship. Brad Johnson's not better than him, but he just didn't mess up the Buccaneers championship. Didn't start having a whole bunch of turnovers because you were trying to do too much. We built a statue behind that. Great point, delusional Patriot fan. Like Aaron wants to be Aaron of old. I'm appalled now. We built a statue behind that. And I want to make this PSA, public service announcement. And this is I wouldn't even call it a disclaimer, because I'm just an announcement. Everyone, y'all have the right to fan how y'all want to fan. I'm reaching out to the people that want to raise their standard and want to put the team over any player. The team over each player. I would love to do that. I still see you in a chat trying to fight for them about the rushing numbers. What I will come back to with that, and I rebuttal, is how many times he checked out of running plays because he wanted to throw the ball. How many times did he argue with his coaches and tell him to throw the damn ball? How many times did he get into it on the sideline? So miss me with that. No. Now, the earlier years you had me. No, but my brother. I remember the latter years when I was actually playing football. I remember those. I was there witnessing those. I was there with the bad knees Dan that was still trying to play like the young Dan. I was there when Scott Mitchell gave us a better chance to win than Dan Marino. I was there. I remember those years. We could leave that alone. Now, I see the disappointing thing for me is the early years. Say what? Wow. See, Marino got his Kareem Abdul-Jabbar actually had 1,000-yard rushing season with him. Caesar Carter had like 800 or 900 yards too, and that's with Marino checking out of running plays. That is there. He also had Jimmy Johnson, the running back. Oh, J.J. Johnson. I'm sorry, J.J. Johnson running back too. Now you get into the years where I was actually watching them, so those excuses you could throw them out the window. But he started off hot, and then he just became mediocre for the rest of his career, throwing for a bunch of yards. He's Justin Herbert with an AFC Championship title and a Super Bowl appearance. That would never, it has never, and it will never be good enough for me. Ever. I'm sorry. We have to raise our standard as fans. We have to. It's all about the team. I don't need the big name quarterback. I need a quarterback that wins when we need him the most. This is crazy. When we bring in someone here, I don't care if he wins the passing title, passing yard title. I don't even care, which I would prefer him. Now you want to know what column, what quarterback stats that I would want them to lead the league in every year? Passing TDs. Leading in passing TDs. That's what I want. Excuse me. Because you putting points on the board. But even that don't matter as much to me. Because if you middle of the pack, but all of your TDs or majority of your touchdowns are impactful touchdowns, meaningful touchdowns, like fourth-quarter touchdowns when the game is tight and you just need that one play or you need that one drive to seal the game, I'll take that any day. I would take that any day. I'm like, Lewis, I'm kind of disappointed with some of the content creators and people that I was listening to that actually fought for Dan Marino, and they was, because I respect, I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. He was doing his thing. But they act like, and they're older than me, so y'all remember those earlier years. Y'all have. Y'all do. That's right, Pablo. Pick a guy, let him fly. Brought up Peyton Manning. Guess what? Go look at that Super Bowl run that he had in Indianapolis Colts. His first Super Bowl he won. I pointed out Joseph Adai. Joseph Adai was the MVP of that Super Bowl, and he was the MVP of that playoff run. The defense was the number one defense that year. Bob Sanders, Dwight Freeney, and them boys. Jerome Mathis, the other DN. That defense was lights out. Peyton Manning had to put up that many points. Go look at them games. He learned his role and rode that to his first one. Now, when he went to Denver and they required him to be offense, that defense kind of carried them too. Matter of fact, the time when they had the best, I think they lost that year. The year they won is when they beat Seattle, and he hunted them. He lit them up. So.
Nah, when he played Seattle in the Super Bowl, he didn't even have a good game.
No, I'm sorry. Seattle lit him up. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Seattle destroyed him. I'm so sorry.
And the one he did win with Denver, he barely threw for 100 yards.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, he got carried in that one.
The defense carried him in that Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. Play your role. Get you a Super Bowl. Then we can remember you for all the regular season stats and how you're genius, and you know what also a genius means? Understanding your role, understand when less means more. It's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But it get quiet when facts start thrown around and we start holding them to a specific standard. That's what we do over here. I'm sorry. It's not going. No. No. All I'm gonna say before we get out is an hour and 30 minutes over here. And Lou, I know Lou. Shout out to Lou, man. Y'all don't even know Lou be on the road. He be doing everything, but he be doing what he got to do to put on for the show. For all y'all that be saying why he be on mute a lot, that's why he be on mute. I really understand what he's doing. Why he's doing that. So he's really multitasking. So I will always show my appreciation for the work that he put in and the effort he put in to be on the show every time with me. But listen. Before I get out of here, I want to say this. Raise your standards. Please, guys, raise your standards. Please. We want wins. And Herman Edwards said, you play to win the game. You know what? I'm going to end it out. Let me go find that. Oh, I'm so sorry. I ain't even get a hi today from the panel. What? You know what? First of all, just you've been missing for a minute. You've been missing.
Yeah, where the hell you been at?
Matter of fact, we had a business. You know what? You know what I'm saying? Your name was thrown out. I had a little business proposition for you. You've been missing. Couldn't even tell you to hit the boys up. You've been missing. We dropped the link. It's all good. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But you want to come tell us we ain't say hi. You ain't stop by. How about that? You ain't stop by.
And you know what's crazy? When she first got in here, I didn't see a hi from her neither. I didn't say, hey, what's up, fellas? What's good, guys? Like, I didn't see none of that.
Oh, so we saying entitlement now? Wow. Now,
yeah, how people get entitled around here. So let me get this right, Tone. We're supposed to say hi, but she ain't supposed to say hi to us.
I'm sorry.
That's how that works.
Right?
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man. You know, that's how they do it. I think. But yeah, shout out to y'all. Matter of fact, that's what I'm getting. We're gonna end it up with this one. So just to remind y'all the reason why we play football or sports, period.
What the greatest thing about sports is, you play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports.
Sorry. Play to win the game. Play to win the game. That's what sports is about. You play to win the game, not lead the league in stats. Or you'll be James Harden. Or Dan Marino. But listen, we appreciate y'all. Monday, we will be back. Monday will be the pre-schedule release show. And y'all do know that show will be, that schedule release is on next Wednesday, the 14th at 8 o'clock. So we will be live on there. So we will be giving y'all the updates for all the ones that want to know the cities that we will be traveling in. And hopefully we get to meet a lot of y'all. I've been meeting a lot of y'all before the channel. And now hopefully I get to meet a lot more of you guys after the channel, so that now you would know the cities and the states that we will be frequently. No, we don't go frequent. We probably will be visiting, you know, and y'all can have opportunity, you know, to make plans to do whatever y'all want. And you know, a couple of people that met us, they understand. You know, we go out there, we tailgate, we have a good time. It's always a good time when we travel. I know we tough on here, but when we get out there, we still tough, but we have a good time. And you know. It's all in fun and games. It's all respect. We always appreciate y'all. The chat. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure you hit that like button on your way out. Let me go double check that before I even get out of here.
And while Tony's doing that, I just want to say, since now Tony, me, and a couple others are leading the charge of people that love Dan Marino, anytime someone tells us something about Dan Marino, just always remember,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
I just I just want them to know that. Hey, we love y'all, right? We love y'all, yes, but I'm telling you right now, we don't care.
Hey, listen, man, it's still 19 of y'all in here. We got 29 watching. I mean, 29 likes. Appreciate y'all. Roll to 600. Y'all get the boys to 600. We have 516, so we still gaining subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscription button. We give y'all 100% facts, 100% honesty, and it's like this all the time. We have the greatest chat on YouTube, period, bar none. And we want to say I always appreciate y'all. We just did our first giveaway. We gave away a jersey and we gave away a draft hat. So congratulations to y'all too as well. Make sure y'all let me know when those things touch down. And please hit that like button, subscribe, and spread the content to y'all friends. Help us grow. We appreciate y'all again. See y'all Monday, 7:30-ish. Y'all lay around for it, and we out. Lou, you want to get us up out of here?
Peace with the bang bang.